Okay. Jena. By whom? Narayana. Swadhamani. Although in his own place. The spiritual world. Ami. All these. Bhava. Manifestations. Raja Sattva Tamamaya. Created by the three modes of material nature. Goodness, passion and ignorance. Guna. Qualities. Nama. Names. Kriya. Activities. Rupai. And with forms. Pibhavayante. Are variously manifested. Jatatatam. Exactly to the right point. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace by Jananivas Bhakti Vedanta Prabhu Ki. The supreme cause of all causes, Narayana, is situated in his own abode in the spiritual world. But nevertheless, he controls the entire cosmic manifestation according to the three modes of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. In this way, all living entities are awarded different qualities, different names, such as Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, different duties according to the very Varna Ashrama institution, and different forms. Thus, Narayana is the cause of the entire cosmic manifestation. Please repeat. The supreme cause of all causes, Narayana, is situated in his own abode, in the spiritual world. But nevertheless, he controls the entire cosmic manifestation according to the three modes of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. In this way, all living entities are awarded different qualities, different names, such as Brahmanas, Kshatriya, and Vaishya, different duties according to the Varna Ashrama institution, and different forms. Thus, Narayana is the cause of the entire cosmic manifestation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Vedas inform us, Natasha karyam karanam cha vidyate, Natat shamash cha bhadyadikas cha drishyate, Parasya shaktir vividhoivam surate, Swabhaviki janabala kriya cha, from the Svetashvara Upanishadam 6.8. Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is almighty, omnipotent. He has multifarious energies, and therefore he is able to remain in his own abode without endeavoring and without endeavor supervise and manipulate the entire cosmic manifestation through the interaction of the three modes of material nature, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. These interactions create different forms, bodies, activities, and changes, which all occur perfectly. Because the Lord is perfect, everything he works is as if he were directly supervising and taking part in it. Atheistic men, however, being covered by the three modes of material nature, cannot see Narayana to be the supreme cause behind all activities. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.13, Tribir gunamayi bhavaya, Hebhi sarva idam jagat, Mahitam Mabhijanati Mam Ebhaya Param Abhyayam. Deluded by the three modes, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Because unintelligent agnostics are mohita, illusioned by the three modes of material nature, they cannot understand that Narayana, Krishna, is the supreme cause of all activities. As stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.1, Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sharva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Om Ajnanantimidandasya Jananjanan Shalakayo Chakshurunmalitanjina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garatha Shiva Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here, I think Jamajutas are speaking, huh? Yeah. So here the Supreme Lord, Narayana is being described here as being the cause of all causes, the source of everything. The great God of the three worlds, Narayana, his glories are chanted in the Vedas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is ultimately, he is conducting everything in this material world through his different energies. Parasya Shakti Irvividevi. He has unlimited energies. So when he desires something, it happens. Icha Shakti. So he desires creation, and then the creation becomes. So he is as a super soul. He is everywhere in everything. So he's the micromanager of the universe, because he's within every atom. He can do that. He knows what's going on. So he's controlling within and without every atom, but nobody can see him. Since time immemorial, nobody can see what's happening. How many newspapers have been printed every day? For how many years they've been going on, and how many all over the world? But you never ever get one day where you get even one little sentence or something that actually Maya is the illusory energy is moving everything. You're not the doer. You're not the body. But all activities are in fact being performed by the will of the Supreme Lord. His different energies, known as Maya, Shatagun, Rajagun, Tamagun, they're the movers. They're moving everything under his direction. So he is that Supreme Lord. Maya, in the beginning of creation, Maya is there. The Yoga Maya is there. She reflects Chaya Eva Durga. She reflects in the material world as Durga or Parvati, and the glance of Vishnu is non-different than Vishnu. Krishna's name, form, pastimes. His glance is also non-different. That enters into the material energy as Shambhu, Shiva, Sadashiva, Shambhu. And then the combination of Shambhu and Devi, then the whole creation takes place. So they're the they're the creators. But why do they create? Because of the will of Vishnu. The Lord is desiring that the creation take place so he can deliver all the living entities again, or at least give them an opportunity. So there are three creators. Everyone is searching for the ultimate creator. You wouldn't expect it to be three. Generally be one single point. All the scientists are trying to get to that one point, the source of everything. So it's difficult to understand. But there are three creators. There is the Shambhu, there is Parvati, and behind them the will of Vishnu. They're performing this activity of creating the whole universe and everything because the will of Vishnu is there. So these three gunas, they're Krishna's qualities. Everything is Krishna's energies. And so when Krishna desires something, then it happens. So to manage the universe, he enters into every atom as a supersoul. And this is what's happening in time immemorial. The dictation is there, it's coming from the supersoul. The sanction to do something is coming from the Supreme Lord, supersoul. So therefore not a blade of grass moves without his sanction. So he knows everything that's going on perfectly well. By his energies, he's situated in his own abode in Vaikuntha. He doesn't really he doesn't bother to know what's going on in the material world. He does that by simply expanding his different potencies. They take care of everything. And he's always in his own abode. God's business is pleasure. He doesn't have to do any work. So then the Lord is creating everything that we can utilize these different material energies, the different qualities, the different forms, the different. We can choose what kind of destination we want, and the three modes of material nature will carry it out. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is a book on destiny. You can make your own destiny. Krishna says, if you act like this, you get this result. If you act in goodness, you'll get this good result. If you act in passion, you'll get this result. If you act in ignorance, you'll get this result. So Krishna knows. According to your activity, Krishna knows what the future will be, according to your choice and the mode of nature you're appearing or utilizing. Krishna says, you adopt the mode of goodness, you'll become happy. Happiness will be the result. You operate in Rajagun, then misery will be the result. You operate in Tamagun, then the result will be madness, degradation, going back to the different lower species of life. But Bhagavad Gita is like that. It's a book on destiny. You can choose your own destiny, and Krishna will supply that. He's giving you the desire, and he's also giving you the he's helping you fulfill that desire, because we can't fulfill the desire by ourselves. Krishna says, you should understand that in all activities, it's nothing but the modes of material nature are active, that's all. And I'm beyond those modes. One who knows me beyond the modes, he knows everything. He becomes free from this illusory conception of life. But this is how Krishna is working. Everything is so fine. We can't see it. We can't detect it even for a moment. Maya never stops for a little moment. Let's have a break or something. Okay. No, she doesn't. She's always pushing at every moment. We're forced to be swept away, Rajagun, Tamagun, Satyagun, sometimes for long periods, sometimes instant periods, but constantly inactive. And it keeps us so bewildered that we never have a time to, it never stops for a moment to let you have a look. This is actually what's happening. Pushing by the time factor. That we don't see what's going on. And some things we like, some things we don't. Rajadvesh, Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. Attraction and hatred. Rajadvesha, that I like it, I don't like it. This is actually all that goes on in this material world. The Maya sends a sense object before your senses, and the mind says, do I like it or I do not like it? Then taking help from intelligence, the intelligence says, well, last time we had that same sense object, we got this result. It was good or it was bad. So you take help from intelligence. If it was good, the last time we interacted with this particular mode, then we'll choose to accept it. And if it wasn't a good experience, we'll reject it. So that's all that goes on in this material world. We're seeing sense objects are coming in front of us. I'll accept it or I'll reject it. The eye in contact with its sense, the tongue in contact with the pizza. We did a nice pizza yesterday. I like it or I don't like it. I reject it if I don't like it. If I like it, can you make some more pizza tomorrow? So that's all that's going on. We are making this choice at every moment, because every moment there's a sense object being presented before us, and at every moment we have a choice. Because Krishna is supreme independence, we have a minute independence, so we can utilize that. And we are utilizing it for our sense gratification. By accepting the objects of Maya or rejecting the objects of Maya. Shri Shri Panchatattva ki jai. So we are making this decision. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, this is the supreme decision that everybody as a human, he should make this choice, or this decision, that what am I going to do about this accepting and rejecting business? That's all I've done since time immemorial. I like it or I don't like it. I'll accept it. That's all that we've ever done since time immemorial. When are we going to do something about it? This decision, when we come to this decision, am I going to do something about it, or I can continue forever, birth after birth, accepting, rejecting, accepting, rejecting? Or shall I do something about it? So that is Krishna consciousness. You want to do something about it. Okay, let's go. Let's become Krishna conscious. And then we can begin to do something about it. Bhaktisiddhanta says, otherwise, talks about Krishna are very perplexing and very mysterious. We're talking about Krishna whole day, we're chanting Hare Krishna, but somehow or another we can't grasp him. He slips through our fingers. We see. He's very, very difficult to understand. But when you get off this platform of accepting and rejecting for myself, and accept what does Krishna like, and reject what Krishna does not like, then we can become free from Maya's influence of acceptance and rejection. So sense objects and senses and the sense gratification experience. So this is a supreme decision that everybody as a human, he should make he should come to this conclusion and make a decision. Otherwise, Krishna is always a little bit, you just can't grasp him. He slips through your fingers, as they say. And Krishna will always be a little bit, can't quite catch but when we make that decision to accept what Krishna likes, is favorable for Krishna consciousness, and rejects what's unfavorable, then Krishna will reveal him. Then everything will become tangible. Everything will make sense when we're out of this illusion. And Krishna will be there in his various forms. And you will be able to see and experience Krishna. So, otherwise very difficult to understand. So this is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, described as the master of all the different qualities and the modes of material nature. They're saying that he is the Supreme Lord. He is the Supreme Lord. And because he is the Supreme Lord, then the Vedic injunction, Narayana, Anta Narayana Smriti, that at the time of death you should be thinking of that Supreme Lord, Narayana, who is in control of everything and everyone. That is the duty. That is what everything is all about, to bring one to the point of remembering Narayana at the time of leaving the body of Krishna. So that's what everything is about. This is what the temple is here for. This is why we're here. This is why we're distributing prasad. This is why we go out preaching. This is why we build farms. And why are we doing all these things? Anta Narayan Smriti, so you can remember Krishna at the time of leaving your body. This is what Krishna consciousness is for. Prabhupada said we are presenting Krishna consciousness. We cannot force people to take to Krishna consciousness, but our business is to present Krishna consciousness. At least give them an alternative, because they have no alternative now. You only have modern education, which is not giving us the true light. And there's no alternative to material solutions, to make a material solution. See, the only alternative is Krishna consciousness. So this we are presenting to people, this is Krishna consciousness. Now you can choose, or you can accept, you can reject. But at least give everyone an opportunity to know that there is an alternative. So this is Prabhupada, so this is our movement, Krishna consciousness. We are simply presenting Krishna consciousness. We cannot force anyone, but at least we can give them a chance to make that choice to become Krishna conscious, which no one else is giving. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that the Supreme Lord, Narayana, he is situated in your heart, Arjuna. You should surrender unto him. By his grace you will cross over all the problems of life. Surrender unto him utterly. Now I've spoken this philosophy to you. Now you can do as you like, Arjuna. This is in the 18th chapter. So I've explained everything to you, Arjuna. Now you make a choice. It's up to you. Then Krishna stopped speaking. In fact, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that's the end of the Gita, actually. We spoke all those things, and then in the 18th chapter he said, the Supreme Lord situated in your heart, you surrender to him utterly. That's it. I explained to you, now you decide what you want to do. So he said he had already finished speaking. That was the end of Bhagavad Gita. So generally we can understand that in different yugas, and that was the situation, that we should surrender to the Supreme Lord Narayana, the Super Soul. But then after that, Krishna is saying, Sarvadanam parityaja mamik. We should surrender to him only. So some people say that when Krishna says he's situated in everyone's heart, you should surrender to him. That's referring to the super soul. And when Krishna says Sarvadanam parityaja mamikam, so you surrender to me, that's Krishna in Braja. But Vishwanath Thakur says no. For others say that Supreme Lord Narayana is Krishna. He is my Lord. My Lord is so great, he can expand himself into so many forms. He expands himself into Narayana to maintain the cosmic manifestation. That's how great our Krishna is. That's how great our... because in this millennium, this 28th millennium in the day of Brahma is the time when the original Krishna appeared. So that Krishna appeared. So therefore, so the devotees of Krishna in Vrindavan, then for that time, then Krishna was speaking to Arjuna. Okay, surrender to the Paramatma in your heart. Okay, now I finished speaking. But Krishna saw that Arjuna was perplexed. He just heard the Bhagavad Gita. How long does it take? 40 minutes or something, Prabhupada said. He spoke it on the battlefield, all these different types of philosophies and all these renunciation and sannyas and varnashram dharmas and meditations and yogas. And now he's saying, you think about it, Arjuna, and tell me what you want to do. Here we're studying whole life to try to understand Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna's on the battlefield, he just heard it, and Arjuna says, now you're going to make that decision. So Arjuna is very perplexed. He's thinking very deeply, I'm going to make a decision now. I've heard all these different things, and I've got to work it out and put it all together somehow or another. So he's very perplexed. He's heavy thinking, what's he going to do? And Krishna, seeing Arjuna like this, and he said, look, Arjuna is my best friend, and I put him in this situation because of me, my speaking and all these things. I put him in that situation where he's completely perplexed. I don't like to see that. He's my dear devotee, and I don't want to be the cause of him being perplexed. So Krishna's actually crying, and he's seeing Arjuna. So then, as an outpouring from Krishna's heart, then he just comes, oh Arjuna, always think of me, become my devotee, just worship me. You will come to me, I promise. Just give up all varieties of religion, just surrender to me. You will come to. So that was just Krishna's cause, His mercy. This is the original Krishna was there speaking. But generally, the Bhagavad Gita finished on that point of surrendering unto the Lord, Supreme Personality of God, Narayana, who is Lord of the Vaikuntha and every. So generally, that is the case. But on the day of Brahma, we get this when Krishna himself appeared and spoke. And there he's demanding, surrender unto me. Sarvadanam parityaja mamikam saranam braja. Braja means to go. Go where? Go to Braja. So that Krishna is saying, go to Braja. Don't go to Vaikuntha Loka with the Lord Narayana. But you can come to my abode, Braja. So this was the speciality of this specific time in history. It's the 28th millennium in one day of Brahma that the original personality of Godhead comes and performs his pastimes and shows his pastimes so we can so we can imbibe those teachings and somehow or another always remember Krishna and go back to Godhead. This is what Krishna wants. But unfortunately, nobody comes to the material world to go back to Godhead. They all come here to be the enjoyers. You want to imitate Krishna. They want to be the controllers and the enjoyers. That's why we're all here. So Krishna gives so many controlling and enjoying processes, all these different systems of yoga and renunciation and all. You get different groups, whatever group it is, art of living and all the new groups, I don't know what it is, but any group you talk to them, you find out what the ultimate, their goal is, and it's to enjoy it. That's what my pleasure, it's my enjoyment. No question of Krishna's enjoyment, God's enjoyment. It's all my enjoyment. So this is what's going on. We're controlling a situation so we can enjoy the situation. Man controls, he has to go out, work hard so he can get some money, so he can build a house, he can control a little area. The wife is in the house, she's controlling what curtains we're going to have, what color paint on the wall, what little control. We're all have this control. It's called the Purusha Bhava. We want to be the controllers and the enjoyers. But because we've had this since time immemorial, we're identifying ourselves as the controller and the enjoyer. I'm controlling a situation so I can enjoy it. You think of any process or any other group or things like that, we'll just say Ashtanga is a good example. Krishna speaking it also, he's telling Arjuna to practice this Ashtanga yoga process. So what is that process, Ashtanga yoga? Asanam, you got to sit on the proper controlling the sitting posture, controlling the breathing, the pranayam. Breathing, you're controlling the airs, controlling the withdrawing the senses, you're controlling the senses. It's all control. 7 controls, and then the 8th one is your nirvana, your bliss, whatever they call it. Whether either you want to merge into the Lord or you want to, you're a Mayavad or a Buddhist or. But the idea is it's all control, so I can enjoy. No question of being servant or no question of being. That's on the bottom of the list. So we didn't come here to become Krishna conscious. We came here to be the controllers and enjoyers. So therefore we have all these systems. They're all controlling and enjoying systems, that's all. And Krishna's given so many systems in Bhagavad Gita. But finally he says to Arjuna, give up all that damn nonsense controlling, enjoying processes. You surrender to me, Mamika, me alone. I will save you from all that sinful activity. So that's Krishna's advice. So that's called the Purusha Bhava. Everybody has this Purusha Bhava, that I am the controller so I can enjoy. So that's Krishna's position. Bhoktaram Jagatapasham Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I am the Bhokta, the enjoyer. I am the Maheshwaram, all the controller of all the planets. I am that controller and enjoyer. We're trying to imitate Krishna. Clear imitation. Every moment. I still want to enjoy the sense objects when they come in front of me. Clear imitation of Krishna. So difficult, but by Krishna's mercy. By Krishna's mercy, we can get out of this life by following these different progressions of advancement in spiritual life that is being mentioned. Progression from Tamagun to Rajagun to Shatagun, progression from Brahmachari to Brahmapras, Grihastha, Banapras, and yes, progression from Paramatma, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, progression, Shambhanda, Abhidaya, Prayoja. Everything is progression in this world. So all these systems are given progression, so you actually become more purified. They're all progressions and systems of purification. Everything and Krishna's so clever. He said, I created this in society these divisions where you identify yourself as a Kshatriya Vaishya Brahmin. Krishna's created that. Prabhupada said we should introduce Varnashram system. But we shouldn't identify with it. We shouldn't identify as being a brahmachari, grihastha, banapras, sannyasi. We're told to the purpose that actually he said he wanted Varnashram introduced in our society for preaching, to show others. If you want to live in this material world, here's how to live peaceably. And Krishna's so clever that it's a system Krishna's interwoven within that system. It's a process of self-realization, that you actually become purified from tamagun, rajagun, brahmachari. So it's a built-in system of self-realization. Krishna's so clever. And you don't even know you're doing it. But by following the Vedic process, which tells you if you do like this, you'll get happy. So that's why they do it, because you get more happiness from the Vedic injunctions. You won't get more happiness by concocting something, process of happiness. You won't get more happiness than the Vedic happiness if you follow the Vedic injunction. So Krishna says here, you want a happiness, you want to be in the material world and be happy, here it is. But that's not what Krishna wants. He wants you to come back home, back to God. But it's a slow process, a progression for non-devotees, and then gradually they will become purified and become devotees. So ultimately they can go back to Godhead. So Krishna's Varnashram system is a built-in self-realization is there also, even unknowingly. Krishna's so clever. So progression is there. So then we have material progression for the devotees. We have a shortcut progression. We don't have to go through all the different modes of material nature and different ashrams and things, where we get Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This shortcut process. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva have come to give this process. They're the Yuga avatars. They've come to reveal this process of Nama realization. Hare Nama Vikavalam Kalu Nashtiva Gatiranyata. There's no other way in this age of Kali except by chanting the holy names of Krishna. So how we do it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to show us. He's a Bhakta avatar. Bhakta Rupa, he's in the form of this avatar. He's playing as a Bhakta, he's not playing as Krishna, he's actually a devotee. And Acharya, he's showing by his example how to approach the holy name, how to chant Hare Krishna. And so by his own example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed us that when he went to Gaya on the plea of doing Pinda for his father, but actually he went to meet his spiritual master there, Ishvara Puri. Mahaprabhu knew Ishvara Puri because Jagannath Mishra would always invite sadhus to his house in Navadvip. Navadvip was the center of spiritual and other activities at that time. So Madhavendra Puri, Ishvara Puri was just a wandering sannyasi. So he would go from holy place to holy place. He would come to Navadvip regularly. And Jagannath Mishra would always invite sadhus to his home and to feed them Vaishnavas. So he had been to Mahaprabhu's house a few times, and Mahaprabhu had the opportunity to serve him his meals there and everything like that. So he knew Ishvara Puri. Then he met him in Gaya, and actually at that time he took initiation. And then he became Mahaprabhu. The naughty Nimai days were over. He was very frivolous as a young boy, performing all of his pastimes. And he used to tease the Vaishnavas, the devotees. But they used to pray, Nimai, you're such a nice boy. You such a respectable parentage. Why don't you become a devotee of Krishna? You say, oh, if you bless me, I will become, one day you'll see I'll become a great devotee. Even Lord Shiva will come and see. But he was very frivolous. But then he became, when he took initiation, he became serious. He completely changed his outlook at the time of initiation. Initiation is for civilized human people who want to make progression in life. Aryan. So he became very serious at that time. And his spiritual master initiated him into chanting Hare Krishna. And within a couple of days, he went back to see his spiritual master. He said, I don't know what kind of mantra you were given me, but I think I'm going pagal by chanting. I'm going a bit mad. I chant, I sometimes cry, I sometimes dance, I sometimes fall on the floor. Can you explain to me what's happening? Am I being haunted? I don't know. So Ishwara Puri said, very good, my child, very good, my son. Very good. You keep on doing that, it's very good. He was showing symptoms of ecstasy. Where was that ecstasy coming from? What? Where was that ecstasy coming from? All he was doing was Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. He was just hearing the sound vibration, Hare Krishna, and he was getting ecstasy. So where was that ecstasy coming from? The holy name. That's all that was happening. His Guru Maharaj told him to chant, and he was chanting so attentively. He got Nama realization. The holy name revealed his presence. He felt the presence of God when he was chanting Hare Krishna. He felt the presence of God by his side. Just as much as I'm aware of your presence, you're aware of my presence. Even more so with Krishna. He was aware of the presence. This is the first realization. Nama reveals his presence. And that is the cause of ecstasy, because Krishna is ecstatic. The soul is ecstatic. So we realize Krishna is none different than his name, then the soul experiences that ecstasy from Krishna. This was just a couple of days after initiation. We're chanting a long time, we're saying, well, not getting ecstasy. Mahaprabhu showed in a couple of days, because he was simply sincerely following the order of his spiritual master. Or from there he went to Kananatshala. If you ever go there, you'll never be the same again. Because Mahaprabhu went there and he was never the same again. How many of you have been to Kananatshala? Only? Okay. You should go there, but be careful. You won't be the same person. Anyway, that place is called Gupta Vrindavan, and it's a very old, famous place, secret Vrindavan. But Radha Krishna footprints are installed there. They've been there since the place is it's an isolated place. It's right on the bank of the Ganga, on top of a mountain. It's beautiful scenery. The Ganga is like the ocean there. And
is it pirates still there? Still a lot of pirates there? There's still a lot of pirates there.
A lot of? Pirates?
Pirates.
Dacoits. It's not far from the place. You know the story of Sanatan Goswami? He went, and his servant had 8 gold coins, and the hotel owner was going to kill him and take those gold coins. If you know that story from Chaitanya, yeah, that's very close to there. So Maharaj is asking. There are some bandits there. Yeah, it's an isolated place. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur established Mahaprabhu's footprints there also, and there's footprints of Radha Krishna's from, they say, from Dwapara Yuga. But everybody, Vaishnavas recognize that. Gupta Vrindavan. Gupta means secret, hidden Vrindavan. So he went there and he saw Krishna there. He saw Krishna. When he came back to Navadvip, he said, bring all the devotees. We'll all go to Sukambaracharya's house, Brahmacharya's house, and I will tell you what happened when I went to Gaya. And all the devotees, hey, Nimai's become a devotee. Everyone was so happy. They all come and rush to hear that night time what Mahaprabhu was going to tell him about his journeys and excursion. And so then he told them what had happened. He got initiation. Now he's a devotee. And then he went to Kanai Shala and he said, I saw Krishna there. I saw him and he was calling me, come on. And I went to get Krishna, but he disappeared. And where is Krishna? Where? And then he went into a mood of separation. And all the devotees were astonished. There's naughty Nimai. Look at him now. He's a real bhakta and he's showing all symptoms of ecstasy. Everyone was so happy. Rupa. He saw the form of Krishna. First Nama realization, then the holy name revealed, Rupa. So it's a progression here. Material progression, and this is the spiritual progression of the holy name. First the holy name revealed his presence, then the holy name revealed his form to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How you can read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu is saying that usually one sense goes to one sense object at a time, but when I meditate on Krishna, when I see Krishna, all of my senses rush towards him, my eyes rush towards him, my tongue wants to lick him, my ears want to hear his... all of my senses are like they're having a tug of war and pulling me, they're tearing me apart. They all want to go to Krishna at the same time. This guna, the qualities of Krishna, the holy name is revealing the different qualities of Krishna. You can hear the sweetness of Krishna's voice. the touch sensation, the Krishna is so delicate, his body. It says that when he walks through the grass, even if a blade of grass touches his foot, it leaves a white line. Sometimes you press hard on your body, leaves a little white line. So Krishna, just a little blade of grass will touch Krishna's feet. He's so soft and delicate. So he revealed all these qualities, guna. You can hear his voice, you can see touch sensation, smell the fragrance of Krishna's body. I grew. Guna, the holy name was revealing the qualities of Krishna. And Mahaprabhu we can read Chaitanya Charitamrita, he falls unconscious into ecstasy. The devotees didn't like to see that. So they were all chanting Hare Krishna in his ears to wake him up, They didn't like to see him. They couldn't relate to him. So they're chanting Hare Krishna and trying to wake him up, and then he comes to external consciousness. And he said, why did you call me? Why did you call me? I was there with all the Shakis. We were picking flowers got nice kalna for Radha Madhava. Why did you call me back? I was Leela. The holy name was revealing the Leela of Krishna. And not only revealing the Leela, but he was participating in Leela. He said we were picking flowers and making garland. Nam Guna Rupa Leela. It's progression that the holy name is revealing. And Mahaprabhu showed us by example how quick it can be if you are sincere. Sincerity is your only qualification. And Mahaprabhu was so sincere because he was playing as a Bhakta avatar. He played it so in perfection that he had all these revelations. The holy name revealed one after another very quickly. It's not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was well, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can do anything he likes. No, he was playing as a Bhakta avatar, and he was playing in perfection. And he thought that he is an ordinary, he's playing like an ordinary conditioned living entity. Bhavananda Prabhu once asked Prabhupada, how can Lord Chaitanya say this, Janadapi Sunuchi, that he is lower than the straw in the street? Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So why does he say I am lower than a blade of grass? And Srila Prabhupada said, he can say that because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that I am 1/10,000th size of the tip of a hair, which he's not. He's the source of all the 1/10,000th size. But because he was playing as a Bhakta avatar, he identified himself as an ordinary conditioned soul who is 1/10,000th size of the tip. He was identifying. Because he was identifying himself as 1/1000th size of the tip of a hair. Therefore he could pray feelingly. Ai Nanda Tunojuki, O son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant. Somehow or another I fall into this ocean of birth and death. Please, please, please pick me up and place me as an atom of dust. He could pray so feelingly, because he was feeling that he was that size, 1/10,000th size of the tip of a hair. We can also pray feelingly if we have that understanding. So it wasn't. He wasn't making a show of it. He wasn't making a show. I'm God, but I'll make a show of it. No, he was actually experienced. Whatever role Krishna does, he does in perfection. When he's a baby and he sees that stick in Mother Jasoda's hand, he's scared. He's not making a show of that. I'll just make a show of being. His pearl necklace is ching ching ching. He's shivering. He sees, Mummy, I've been an offender. Please don't beat me. Please don't beat me. She throw the stick away. He was scared. He was shaking. It wasn't a show. He was playing in perfection. Whatever Krishna does, he does in perfection. So when he plays the part of a bhakta, a devotee, he does in perfection. So he shows us very, very quickly. He set an example of how he received the holy name and chanted Hare Krishna, and he got all the results of his chanting. In the Harinam Chintamani, Haridas Thakur said, there are two persons, they both approach the bona fide spiritual master. Same time. They both get initiated into the holy names of Krishna, into the parampara, with the process of bhakti, sadhana bhakti. He says, who reaches the goal first? Who gets the fruit of his chanting first? Or you may think that one is a muchi, one is a suchi. Muchi means cobbler, kind of a low-class trade. Suchi means high-class brahmana. So the question, who gets the result, the fruit of his chanting first? The muchi or the suchi? Huh? Suchi has less impediments because he's much more in the mode of goodness. There's less tamagun, rajagun like that. Muchi is working with leather and things like that, more impediment. But Haridas Thakur says, no, it's not a question of muchi, suchi or qualification. He said, sincerity. That determines who is going to receive the fruits of his japa, his chanting Hare Krishna first. The speed in which you receive the results is dependent on your sincerity, that's all. No need any research work. Already been done. We simply have to be sincere and apply the process of Krishna consciousness as given by our acharyas and Mahaprabhu. That's the qualification. Sincerity is it. That's all we do. You don't have to. Prabhupada said the Gaudiya Math, they opened a research, Chaitanya Research Center in Calcutta. Prabhupada said, what is that research? It's already been done. Goswamis are there. We already have all the information. We simply have to be sincere in executing the instructions of the parampara to the tune. And then we'll get the fruit of our japa. So that was the example Mahaprabhu showed us. He came to give the holy name, to bring the holy name. He's a Yuga avatar. And his own example, he showed us how to chant Hare Krishna. What is the proper attitude? And he just did it with such sincerity that he received the fruits, the results of chanting Hare Krishna. So we can do the same. That's all he ever wants us to do, is just take chanting holy names of Krishna, dancing, ecstasy, go back home, back to Godhead. So he showed us at the time. So this is the spiritual. We have material progressions. We have spiritual progressions. So this is the sledgehammer's process. Prabhupada said, you have a goldsmith who makes earrings and nose rings, and he has a little hammer and he is. Then you have the blacksmith. He has a big iron hammer. One stroke, boom. This is Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said. Sledgehammer process, one stroke, boom. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Panchatattva ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shambheda Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Go Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Sorry, it's a little bit late. Yeah, if we have time. It's oh, you have. Yes.
You mentioned sincerity as a key. How to be more sincere? We are not sincere, obviously. How to be more sincere? How to develop? Is being sincere also a process to be more sincere, or is a one sledgehammer stroke? How is that? Or is dependent on what our karma or?
No, not depending on karma. You can think like that. Others shouldn't think like that of you. Devotees don't come under the karma. But out of humility, a devotee can think that I'm under the laws of karma. But for others, they see that no, it may resemble karma, what we're doing and what we're receiving. But Krishna, in the Tati Nupamkam verse, Srimad Bhagavatam, he said it may resemble, but actually it is not a reaction of karma. From karma, it's personally given by the hand of the Lord. The distress or the happiness, it's not karma. It's personally given by the hand of the Lord, and it's that which you need right now to make progress in your spiritual life. Krishna gives that punishment, is what you need right now according to your spiritual progression. So it's not karma, it's personally given by the hand of the Lord for devotees who have surrendered to the Lord. Sincerity, how do you become sincere? The Prabhupada always answered those questions, how do we become humble, how do we become sincere, how do we become tolerant? He said, you become humble by being humble. You become sincere by being sincere. Means you've got to put it into practice. Even if you're not very sincere, still you put it into practice. The example, in the early days, the devotees, when they were doing the Prem Dhwani, bowing down, chanting Jai Om Vishnu Padava. And Gagamuni Prabhu, he wasn't bowing down, so the devotee said, Swamiji said you should bow down when we chant this Prem Dhwani. And Gagamuni said, I got no feeling for it. I think that spiritual life should be something, you got a feeling for it. You can do it. But if you have no feeling, then it's kind of artificial. So I don't think I shouldn't bow down. So they're all new devotees, so they said it's a good argument. Spiritual life is something very natural. It feels unnatural. We should bow down. So they said, let's ask Swamiji. So they asked Prabhupada. And they told him that what Gargamuni has said, that he doesn't feel it's natural because and it doesn't feel very spiritual. So Prabhupada said, you do it anyway, even if it doesn't feel natural. He said, but do it anyway. Then it will become natural in time. So put it into practice, even if it doesn't feel good at that time. He said, still you put it into practice, and that quality will develop. So somehow or other you put it into practice, you force yourself to be humble, you force yourself to be tolerant, you force yourself to be... So it's a practice. It is there, all the good qualities are there, they're simply covered. This is simply removing the coverings.
Hare Krishna. What would be the definition of sincerity?
The
definition. What would be the definition? What is sincerity? If someone asks, for example, from the Nectar of Instruction, we have this definition of enthusiasm is endeavoring with intelligence, right? It's one example. Is there anything similar for the sincerity?
– Well, yeah, you can say the whole process of Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, that's what we have, that's what we need, because we've forgotten our spontaneity, so we need this. Mahaprabhu came to give spontaneous love of Krishna, if you can take it. If not, then second best, and he gave the process of Yukta Viraga. So we're obliged, if we haven't awakened our spontaneous attraction for Krishna, to follow the Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, Panchachaki vidhi. So that whole process Prabhupada has given us. Be sincere in no illicit sex. Be sincere in no intoxication. Be sincere in all these. Be sincere in everything we do. Be sincere in what we've heard from my spiritual master. Be sincere. We're dedicated, surrendering our whole life to his. We surrender our whole life to Guru. His instructions, we sincerely make them our life and soul. So like that, everything, all of our activities, we should do it sincerely like that, and it will have an effect. But we have to just put it into practice, and then all of those different activities. Srila Prabhupada's, in his, again, Prabhupada's, he's our Acharya. He set the example. Acharya sets the example. And Srila Prabhupada's example, as a bhakta, that he was reading Vyasatmika Buddhi Rekiha Kuru Nandana Bahu Shaki Anantasya Buddhayo Vashayanam, the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 44 or 43 or something. Vyasatmika Buddhi, the single-minded determination. You should be fixed on one point alone. So what was that one point? Not the tip of your nose, no. It was one point. He explains, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was explaining, that one point, fixed on one point means fixed on the instructions, orders of the Guru. And you should make the order of your Guru of your life and soul. And Prabhupada said, when I read that with the purport, he said, it struck me. And I remember my Guru Maharaj gave me those instructions to print books and distribute Krishna consciousness in English in the Western countries. I remember my Guru Maharaj's It struck me, he said. And he also quoted Yasha Prasada Bhagavat Prasad, Yasha, by the mercy of the spiritual master, only one can make spiritual advancement. So Prabhupada said, it struck me, and I made these orders of my Guru my life and soul. In that verse that Prabhupada quotes, he comments on it in quite a few places in his book. And one point in the chanting the song of Lord Shiva in the Bhagavatam chapter, Prabhupada again, same thing, Vyasatmika Buddhi and Yasha Prasado Bhagavat Prasad. Then he adds a little bit more. He says that one should find out the ways and means to execute that order above and beyond anything else. Not only should he find out the ways and means to execute that order, but he should worship that order. So even the order of the Guru becomes worshipable, because that can take you back to Godhead. That's our savior. We get the order, we execute the order. So Srila Prabhupada said, this is the process that Prabhupada chose as a acharya, one who set an example. This is the example Prabhupada showed us, how he became Krishna consciousness, his path. And that was making the order of his Guru's life and soul. And Prabhupada said, I based the International Society for Krishna Consciousness on this principle. So he's the acharya, he's showing an example. So we can also, and he based the whole society on this principle, accepting the orders of a Guru life. So we can base our individual little Krishna consciousness on the same principle also, if we want to follow Prabhupada's example. But he showed that part. There are different ways we can approach and different services we do, but Prabhupada showed by that example as an acharya how he became Krishna consciousness and how he established a society on this principle of accepting the order of Guru. So that's one thing. If you simply become serious and sincerely follow the order of the Guru, then that's sufficient to go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Shri Panchatattva ki. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Jananivas Prabhu ki.